It's the second half of October, and I have been busy grafting for a while. Mango season is over. The days are not as brutally hot as they used to be, and also the sun is much more gentle than it was during mango season. So fortunately, the rootstock that I have been working on, I planted seeds as soon as I had seeds to plant in mango season. And finally, a lot of them are at a really good stage to graft onto. So of course I've been using really nice rootstock, but I also use really questionable rootstock also. And what happens is, typically I start, the first graft would be up maybe 10 inches above the soil. And often that will work out. If not, then I'll just move down just below that graft. Well, sometimes the rootstock has either been grafted on a lot or just had other problems. I had 4 rootstocks recently that just had problems. And so I decided that I would do a little experiment with those. So it was actually 10 days ago today that I had some old rootstock that was tall and just wasn't supporting normal grafts. And so what I did was I used a different kind of graft, cut way back, and did a what I call a slash graft, but the rest of the world calls a whip graft. And so anyway, just these 4 seedlings all got grafted on the same day. So we have Palmer, Mulgoba, Graham, and Dwarf Hawaiian. And even though it's only been 10 days, a Mulgoba is already starting to leaf out. Graham is also. Palmer looks like it's about ready to burst through the buddy tape right there. Dwarf Hawaiian is actually looking pretty good, but this is a case where the operation was a success, but apparently the patient is dying. The rootstock was skinny. I chose a skinny one because the scion for Dwarf Hawaiian was so skinny, but the rootstock apparently had problems, and it is on its way to dying. The lower part of the rootstock appears to be dead, and it's just going to work its way up. But it looks like the other 3 are doing very well. So that's always nice. I had one other situation. Instead of the rootstock having problems, the scion will have problems. And I had a Beverly scion that the bud on the top looked really good, but when I got it off the tree, the rest of the scion had problems. So what I did was I cut the scion back to good wood, and I ended up with a little piece of the Beverly scion that was about that big. So I grafted it right here. That looked like a nice juicy place on this rootstock to graft it. And it is still green. It hasn't poked through the buddy tape yet, but I'm optimistic on that. So even when you don't have ideal rootstock or scions, you can try grafting, because a lot of times it will work out. So this time of year is just a great one for grafting. I like grafting. I like learning new types of grafts, and I like to experiment with different situations. Like for instance, this old rootstock that was not supporting other types of grafts used my graft that I've recently started doing, this slash graft, and it seems to be working out very well. And then we had the special situation of having a scion that had 90% of the scion was just not ideal. So using just the very tip of that and seeing if that will work out. And, you know, just, I like having a lot of types of grafts to do and to sort of match it with the situation that would be most appropriate for it. And so that sort of leads me to what's ahead. And basically, we have decided to do a very short series on types of grafts. And so, you know, if you're just beginning with grafting, you'll find it interesting, and possibly if you've been grafting for a while, you will pick up some little bit of information that's helpful for your grafting projects. Basically, they're just going to be one graft type per video, and we will cover how to do the graft and in what situation you should use it. So look for those videos coming up soon. Hopefully the first one will be out in probably a week or two.